The year is 1290, and you are riding into a village that already hates you before you say a word. Doors slam shut the moment the villagers see you. A mother pulls her children inside without a word. An old man spits on the ground as you pass. You are not a soldier, and you are not a priest. You are something the villagers fear more than both: the king's tax collector. And today, you have come to collect what they cannot afford to give. Your day began hours before sunrise, in a small stone room above the manor stables. The straw mattress was cold beneath you. Your breath fogs in the frigid morning air. You dress in a worn wool tunic, the same one you have worn for 3 winters. A leather satchel hangs from your shoulder, heavy with parchment, wax seals, and the Lord's official writ. You splash icy water on your face from a clay basin. Downstairs, the steward is already waiting, tapping his boot against the stone floor. He hands you the ledger without a greeting. 63 households owe taxes this quarter. Some have not paid in 2 full seasons. The Lord wants his silver by nightfall, or he wants blood instead. You swallow hard and step out into the gray morning fog. Your horse, an old gray mare named Wren, waits patiently in the courtyard. You mount her slowly, your joints stiff from the cold. The village of Ashcombe lies 3 miles down a muddy road. You have collected taxes there for 6 years. You know every family in that village. You know every excuse they will give you. And you know, deep down, that most of them are telling the truth when they say they have nothing left to give. A raven watches you from a bare branch as you pass beneath it. The manor itself grows smaller behind you with every step Wren takes. The road to Ashcombe cuts through fields stripped bare by a hard winter. Smoke rises from thatched roofs in the distance. A shepherd herds his thin flock across a frost-covered meadow. You pass a wooden shrine at the crossroads, where villagers leave offerings for a good harvest. As you enter the village square, faces turn away from you one by one. A blacksmith's hammer falls silent as you pass his forge. 2 women stop grinding grain and disappear into their cottage. You dismount near the well and unroll your ledger on a stone trough. The first household on your list belongs to a widow named Elspeth. Her husband died in the Lord's service 2 summers ago, cutting timber for the manor's new barn. She has 3 children and 1 milking goat. You knock on her door, and she opens it slowly. Her eyes are already wet before you speak. She tells you she has 11 pence. The tax owed is 30. You write the shortfall into your ledger, the number stark and merciless against the parchment. Behind her, a small boy watches you with wide, frightened eyes. This is the part of the job no one warns you about. You move from house to house through the cold morning. A miller pays in full, though he grumbles about the price of flour. A tanner offers a cured hide instead of coin, and you accept it. You know the steward will complain about the trade. An old farmer named Tobias meets you at his gate with a walking stick raised. It is more out of habit than real threat. By midday, the sun struggles weakly through the gray clouds. Your satchel grows heavier with coin as the hours pass, but your conscience grows heavier still. A group of children chase a hoop through the muddy lane, briefly forgetting the fear around them. For a moment, the village feels almost peaceful. 2 guards from the manor stand watch nearby, sent to protect you should trouble arise. A merchant's cart rattles past, loaded with sacks of grain bound for the manor stores. You pause by the church steps to check the next name on your list. A dog barks at your heels as you cross toward the next cottage. An elderly woman offers you a cup of warm broth, and you accept it gratefully. For a brief moment, kindness outweighs the fear between you. In the afternoon, you arrive at the last house on the list. It belongs to a family you have avoided all season. Inside, a father named Aldrich lies in bed, fevered and coughing. He has been unable to work the fields since autumn. His wife Marjorie meets you at the door, her face pale with exhaustion. Their tax debt has grown across 3 quarters, unpaid. 42 pence stand between this family and the Lord's mercy. You know the law, and the law is clear. Under the Lord's writ, you have the authority to seize their livestock, their tools, even their cottage. Marjorie falls to her knees in the mud before you. She begs you for mercy, her voice breaking. She offers to work as a servant at the manor if you spare her family's home. Behind her, 2 children peer from the doorway, silent and afraid. You stand there, parchment in hand, torn between 2 masters. On one side stands the Lord's writ and the punishment awaiting any collector who returns with an empty purse. On the other side kneels a dying father, a desperate mother, and children who have done nothing but be born poor. You think of the steward's warning from that morning. You think of your own family, waiting for your wages back at the manor. If you show mercy here, word will spread through every household in Ashcombe. If you seize their goat and their only cooking pot, this family may not survive the winter. The weight of the ledger in your hands has never felt heavier. You must make a choice, and there is no way to make it painlessly. Rain begins to fall softly over the yard as you stand in silence. The seconds stretch on as Marjorie waits for your answer. Inside the cottage, Aldrich stirs weakly, coughing again into the silence. You glance once more at the 2 frightened children in the doorway. Somewhere behind you, the manor bell tolls faintly across the fields, a reminder of the hour. You kneel beside Marjorie and lower your voice. You tell her you will record only half the debt today. You mark the rest as owed, buying her family time until the spring planting. It is a small mercy, one that could cost you dearly if discovered. You leave their cooking pot, their goat, and their dignity intact. Marjorie's face floods with disbelief and gratitude. Riding back toward the manor as the sun sinks low, your satchel is lighter than the steward demanded. That evening, you present the ledger to the steward. The steward's eyes narrow as he counts the coin against the numbers. He asks why Aldrich's family owes less than recorded. You tell him the family paid what they could. You explain that forcing more would have left nothing to collect next season either. The steward studies you for a long, tense moment. Then he simply nods and writes it into the record. You are not punished tonight, but you know this mercy cannot become a habit. The Lord's patience has limits, and so does his charity toward the men who collect his silver. You return to your small stone room as darkness falls. The weight of the day still presses on your shoulders. Outside, the stable boy leads Wren the mare to her stall for the night. A single candle burns low on the small wooden table beside your bed. You lie awake that night, staring at the wooden beams above your bed. You did not become a monster today, but you did not become a hero either. You simply survived, one ledger entry at a time. You are caught between a lord who demands and a village that has nothing left to spare. Tomorrow, you will ride to another village and face the same faces, the same fears. The same impossible choices will wait for you there, too. This was the life of a medieval tax collector. Not a villain in a story, but a man trying to hold together 2 worlds that were never meant to balance. Would you have shown mercy, knowing it could cost you everything? Or would you have followed the law, no matter the cost to those who knelt before you?